Everybody, this is John Drew here from Elevated Planet.
And Jolie Gabrielle here from Elevated Planet, and we'd like to welcome you to today's show, where John is going to tell us more about it.
Thank you, Jolie. Yes, and delighted that Jolie's here because she's still a little bit under the weather, but
Yes.
getting there, hopefully very
Yes.
soon. Yeah, so this is our last truly live show for the next few weeks because this time next week I will be in Mauritius. Um, but what we've done is lined up shows for each of the following Sundays, which follow on from today's. And really, what it's all about is empowering and shaping our reality. And to do that, we have to understand the nature of consciousness and the human experience, what it's all about, and how we can magnetize to ourselves the best life possible, our world of unspeakable beauty, because that then reflects in the world around you and to your loved ones and all the rest of it. You know, you can be that beacon. So I think this is really the thought behind this. This is why we are continuing down this path. And this is the foundations have already been laid in previous weeks by the likes of David Clements and Trevor Blake and Greg Braden and various others that we've involved in the shows over the last few weeks. You know, and I think where we go over these next few weeks is, again, it's very consistent. It follows on from this message because I think it's so important to keep reinforcing this message because it really helps to foster understanding. And as somebody who helps to pull these shows together, it certainly helped me. So I just think that, if we do consistently follow this line at the end of it, we'll have a really clear idea. Now, of course, we always caveat this with the word that, everybody needs to exercise discretion and their own personal choice at this time. Because, whatever's going on in the world right now, there's a lot of things that don't look quite so good, but it's there for a purpose. Okay. We know that things always have to get worse before they get better. But it's a question of how we handle that, how we react to it, because we have that choice. Do we get drawn into the drama and add our energy to the negativity? Or do we find our eagle's perch? Do we stay in joy? Because we begin to understand this is more than what is going on in the external. It's what's going on in the internal that counts, really. And that is what this is all about, is finding that strength. Because what you're doing then is that you are feeding the energy into that fifth dimensional and beyond level, where we all have a chance there of elevating ourselves above. And that is the journey we're on right now. We may well have to go through that singularity point, which has been mentioned before, where everything condenses down and it gets a little bit more chaotic. And then we're out the other side and you get rapid expansion and joy and all the rest of it. So it is an amazing time to be here on the planet. And this idea of, being humanity being part of a simulation and a holographic projection, it always just struck me, well, how could that possibly be? It just, given our programming and conditioning over the decades, it certainly doesn't align with that. So that is why it's so important to dig under the surface and find out what's really going on, because that's the point of empowerment right there. So, yeah, thank you to everybody who's arrived today. And we've got Kit there. And good morning to you over there, I believe over Washington side, if I remember rightly for Kit. But yeah, good morning to you as well. So yeah, I'm delighted to have you there. And Joy, thank you for sending those links earlier, which look really interesting. I may well share something on that on the newsletter tomorrow. So that is what we're going to do. But we are going to not delay things too long. We are going to step into our first section. But before we do that, I'm going to ask Jolie, would you care to add anything at this point?
I just want to add that, we're so grateful for the viewers. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I want to just reiterate what you said, John, that even though things are looking quite bleak and dreary at times, we're moving into something so much better. So stay resilient and go within. That's where the answers are.
Absolutely. Yeah. Resilience is an excellent word. And
Yeah.
the going within thing is undoubtedly where we need to be right now. So thank you, Jolie. Right. We are going to leap into part one
Yes.
with me.
You obey rules you never questioned, work at something you didn't choose, and live in fear of being who you really are. But the most disturbing part isn't that. You defend this system. When someone tries to live differently, you're the first to warn about the dangers. When your kid questions authority, you teach them to obey. When a friend abandons security for authenticity, you call them irresponsible. You've become the guard of your own prison. Every detail was designed to create this result. Because if you knew what Helena Blavatsky documented about your true nature, what Hermeticism always taught about your real power, what happens when you stop policing yourself and policing others, this whole theater collapses. Control only works because you forgot something fundamental. You were always free. The prison only exists in your head, and you've had the key since you were born.
You are an infinite consciousness pretending to be an obedient slave. This isn't poetry or cheap provocation. It's the most precise description possible of your current condition. You were born with powers that defy any known limit, but you spend your days worried about bills, other people's opinions, and rules you never questioned. The most disturbing part is that you yourself maintain the bars of your prison. Look around right now. Every person you know lives the same fundamental contradiction. We're beings of infinite possibilities executing limited routines. We repeat thought patterns like programmed machines. We obey power structures that only exist because we believe in them. And we police each other to make sure nobody escapes this invisible matrix. David Icke calls this the greatest conspiracy. It's not a secret group controlling humanity. It's humanity controlling itself. You don't need guards when prisoners watch each other. You don't need chains when fear paralyzes more than any shackle. This system is genius in its simplicity. It convinces you that your limitations are real. But here's the secret that destroys this whole theater. You're already enlightened. You won't be, you can't become, you don't need to achieve it. You already are. Full and infinite consciousness isn't a prize at the end of a spiritual quest. It's your fundamental nature now, at this exact moment, while you read these words. The problem was never the absence of enlightenment. It was excess programming. From the moment you were born, every institution worked to make you forget who you are. School didn't teach you to think, it taught you to repeat. Television didn't inform, it programmed. Family didn't liberate, it conditioned. Every social structure has a single undeclared function, to keep you unconscious of your true nature. Why? Because a being conscious of their infinite power can't be controlled. Helena Blavatsky already exposed this in 1875 when she founded the Theosophical Society. She knew that humans carry an indestructible divine spark, but layers and layers of social conditioning keep it hidden. Not by accident, by design. The system needs you to believe you're small, limited, and dependent. If you knew what you really are, every control structure would collapse in a matter of days. Hermeticism goes even deeper with the principle of mentalism. The all is mind. This means the reality you experience is a mental projection, not just your individual mind, but the one mind of which you're an expression. When you accept imposed limitations, you're literally creating a limited reality. The system knows this. That's why it invests so much in shaping your perception. Think about the last 5 years of your life. How many decisions did you make based on fear? Fear of losing your job, of being judged, of being alone, of not having enough money. Now realize, none of these fears are natural. They were all implanted. A child isn't born with fear of being authentic. She learns, you learned, and that learning became your prison. Conformity is sold as virtue. Be a good citizen, they say. Don't cause trouble, they repeat. Think of others, they insist. But observe, thinking of others always means not disturbing the system. Being a good citizen always means obeying without questioning. Not causing trouble always means accepting injustices quietly. You were trained to be your own jailer. And here we reach the crucial point. If you're already an enlightened consciousness living under collective hypnosis, liberation isn't about seeking something new. It's about stopping the old from sustaining itself. Every time you obey out of fear, you strengthen the bars. Every time you police someone else's behavior, you tighten the chains. Every time you choose conformity over authenticity, you deepen the sleep. Change won't come from outside. No government will decree your freedom. No institution will return your power. Transformation only happens when you, individually, decide to stop pretending you're less than you are. When you recognize you were always free, you just chose to forget. When you understand that the system only has the power you give it.
So, this false matrix has created beings of infinite possibilities executing limited routines, using fear to manipulate how we respond to each other. We've been programmed since birth to forget who we are, including the use of the educational system and our television programming. We were unconscious of our true nature, but humanity is in the process of becoming conscious once more. And every one of us who awakens to the truth as a divine fractal of the Creator can no longer be controlled. We are peeling back the layers of social conditioning. We are now realizing that we are neither small, limited, or dependent, and the old control structures around us will collapse to create space for the new and our world of unspeakable beauty. By ceasing to give our energy to the old structure, we are stopping it from sustaining itself. Fearless authenticity is the way forward. So next up, we have part 1 of a wonderful channeling by Dave Akira, bringing forth an inspiring message from Viola of the Pleiadian collective, which is right in line with where we've been venturing in recent times. So here we go.
You have often felt a sense that something about this world is not quite as it seems. Indeed, the question, do we live in a simulation, arises from a deep intuition that the everyday reality you experience is not the ultimate reality. The answer, beloved one, is hidden in plain sight. What you call your life on earth, your society, your politics, even your physical body, is part of a grand projected hologram of consciousness. To your senses and conditioned mind, it all feels solid and real. Yet to awakened sight, it is recognized as an elaborate simulation, very convincing, but not the true ground of being. This does not mean life is meaningless. Rather, life here is a purposeful illusion, a sort of cosmic game in which your soul participates to learn and grow. You chose to immerse yourself in this game so completely that you forgot it was a game, because only then could the experiences feel real and impactful. The veil of forgetfulness was drawn, and the simulation became your temporary reality.
So, do we live in a simulation? Is the opening question. And I really used to struggle with this concept because everything feels so real. Everything is solid and has structure, and I think of a simulation as something that lacks that level of density. But now I really do begin to understand how this is indeed so. David Clements explained it really well, telling us that we are energy emitters, energy transceivers, and perceivers. So we give off energy, we can transform energy, and we can receive energy. The energy we emanate is how the universe responds to us, mirroring back to us what we have mostly unconsciously requested. So, the solidarity we see around us is indeed what we have unconsciously requested from what is a needlessly densified state. But getting back to our source intelligence within, everything starts to become more fluid and responsive as the nature of matter itself starts to change in response to our alignment with source intelligence. So, we are constantly feeding back to ourselves our own belief system, and as we start to embody the fact that we are truly unlimited because we are each a fractal of divine source intelligence, then we can truly create our world of unspeakable beauty. When I did the Drunvalo Melchizedek's Awakening the Illuminated Heart workshop, one of the concluding points was that we are each existing within our own Leonardo sphere, constantly creating our reality through the mechanism that Dr. David teaches us about also. And when we truly step into our power, we can create our own Merkaba lightship and travel the universe, all from the sacred space of the heart, from that frequency of unity consciousness that is transforming the world around us from this densified state to one of enlightenment and empowerment. What an incredible time it is to be here on the planet. Even if we do have to traverse that singularity point first, witnessing the breakdown of the old that creates space for the new. Exciting times.
Now, as you awaken, you start to notice cracks in the facade, synchronicities, intuitive knowings that reality might be far more malleable and interconnected than you were taught. These are glimpses beyond the hologram, gentle reminders that what you perceive with eyes and ears is not the full story. Human life as you know it is a brilliantly rendered projection, a co-creation of consciousness, but it is not the ultimate truth of who you are or where you come from. Beneath this projection lies Source, the infinite consciousness that is the true reality. It projects this world much like a lucid dream or a sophisticated virtual reality. So yes, dear one, in a manner of speaking, you do live in a simulation. But once you see it for what it is, you begin to reclaim your power as the dreamer of this dream. In this grand simulation, one of the most misunderstood energies is love. What humans often call love within the 3D experience is frequently not the pure, unconditional essence of Source at all. It is more often a tangle of attachment, desire, or even fear wearing a mask of love. This conditional, need-based love is part of the simulation's code, a program that keeps you seeking fulfillment outside yourself. True love, by contrast, is the frequency of Source itself, a completely different quality of vibration. It arises from recognizing the oneness of all life beyond the separate avatars you appear to be. Spiritual love is not personal or possessive. It's an impersonal yet deeply intimate current of the infinite field that flows through everything. Such love breaks the program's hold because it dissolves fear and division on contact. When you hold Source love in your heart, it neutralizes the code of separation. In that state, you recognize that no one and nothing is truly outside of you to be lost or gained. All is already one within the Source. Within the simulation, human relationships often serve as mirrors for growth, but they also tend to come with expectations and conditions. I will love you if you love me back. I need you to complete me. This is love experienced through the lens of duality, and it often brings pain when those expectations inevitably falter. By contrast, the love of Source arises from wholeness, not lack. It does not grasp or demand. It simply radiates freely from an infinite supply. When you begin to tap into this boundless Source frequency of love, the old programs of attachment and fear start to unwind. You find you can care for others deeply while still allowing them to be free, because you sense the underlying unity between you. In the presence of true love, illusions like jealousy and insecurity naturally fade away. You awaken from the emotional dramas of the game and remember the profound truth of oneness that connects all beings. Every person you encounter in this reality is essentially an avatar, a character being played in the grand game of consciousness. These avatars come with various glitches or imperfections as part of the gameplay. They may commit what you call sins or harmful acts. They may suffer illnesses or experience poverty and hardship. Within the illusion, these flaws and struggles appear very real, and humans often use them as reasons to judge or condemn one another. But when you truly look beyond the avatar's mask and into the core of the being, something profound happens. You recognize that at the deepest level, each one is an expression of Source, beneath the personality and its glitches lies the same luminous consciousness in everyone. That is the core code from which all avatars are projected, no matter how obscured it might be by the outer drama. In this light, judgment begins to dissolve. How can you condemn or hate someone once you sense that their misdeeds or faults were the result of a temporary programming glitch, rather than an evil in their soul? You start to view what you once called mistakes as misalignments with their true nature, issues to be corrected or healed, not reasons to close your heart. Forgiveness then ceases to be a difficult moral striving and becomes a natural consequence of clear seeing. You simply stop believing that the avatar's story is the ultimate truth of that being. You realize nothing done in the game has truly harmed the immortal soul. This understanding lifts a tremendous burden from your heart and brings compassion. You might even smile as you recognize how convincingly you once played roles of victim and villain, when behind it all there was only one self, interacting with itself. As you continue to look past the outer roles people play and acknowledge the source within them, you set both them and yourself free. You relate to others as rays of the same sun. The weight of judgment falls away, and in its place rises a liberating truth. Only the love and light behind the form is real. Everything else is part of a great play that you can now see through. Meditation is one of the most direct ways to step outside the simulation's coding and glimpse the truth beyond it. In your daily life, your attention is usually absorbed in the external world, the flickering images on the screen of the hologram. Meditation invites you to pause that outward focus and turn your awareness inward, toward the source that sustains all of it. In doing so, you effectively slip into the space between the frames of the cosmic movie.
And we're back. So, yeah, I just find this really so empowering, really. Once you really get a grip on the fact that we are feeding back to ourselves the belief system that we hold through the universal mirror, right? And again, this is what Dr. David and so many others have said now as well. The universe is a mirror. So the energy we put out there comes back to us. So that really makes you stop and think about policing your own thoughts. So if you do get drawn into the dramas and you get drawn into those negative energies of anger, fear, hatred, whatever it's going to be, then the universe will give you more of the same because that is what you are asking for. And it struck me again, I mentioned this last week about the parable of the talents, and what Jesus said about, abundance, which was, for to everyone who has, more will be given, and they will have an abundance. But from the one who does not have, even what they have will be taken away. Which, as I say, it sounds really cruel. But what that is actually just the universal mirror effect. Because what you find is if you've got lots of money, you don't worry about money. You feel abundant, therefore you become even more abundant. If you are struggling, then, for cash, then you're going to focus on the struggling for cash, wanting money. So therefore, in return, the mirror, a universal mirror, reflects back to you the poverty side of things, which gets worse. So really, you can actually apply that to pretty much anything. It's not just about financial abundance. We're talking about it applies to all things in life that we focus upon. When we focus on our gratitude, how wonderful life is, and we pick out those nuggets that keep coming back and make us smile every time, what are we doing? We are creating a backdrop there that the mirror is going to reflect back to us and give us even more of what we are grateful for. So there's no doubt about it. The part of the test of coming here into the physical here in this particular incarnation is the fact that we have, and again, going back to the analogy that Dr. David Clements used about the projector, right? The projector projects pure white light. We are that light. We are love. We are light. That's our essence. And we have our vibration slowed down so that we can enter a physical body and we can use this as our avatar for this lifetime. That is who we are. Ultimately, we are love and we are light. But of course, those filters, which is the film coming down in front of the projector light, that then creates the challenges. And we will have chosen a lot of challenges for ourselves, and the false matrix programs so many filters into us that we don't even realize these are filters. We forgot the fact that we are pure white light, right? And love. So now is the opportunity through this learning to peel back those layers. And as they're saying, you know, how powerful meditation is, because that enables you to not be drawn into the outside world, to go inside, to connect with your team of guides, masters, angels, your higher self, and really start to feel the joy of existence and the joy of life. And just focus on all the good stuff, because we now know that what we put out there, what the frequencies that we emit, is what we are going to get back. So you might as well be in vibrational alignment with the things that you want. That is the important thing. That's what we're really covering over these next few weeks, is just making sure we do that. Now, I did notice actually a newsletter from Viola Rose actually today from over in Sedona way, who is running another Awakening the Illuminated Heart workshop. And I know when I did this a while back, it is really good. And I'll put a link on that to the newsletter again for anybody who's interested in exploring it. You know, I would certainly recommend it, because it teaches you about how to go into your heart space. This is what Drunvalo Melchizedek, who created the course, is all about. It's getting into that tiny sacred space within the heart, because that is from where you get to ultimately, you know, and that's what the masters are able to do. They're able to get into their Merkaba light ship, which is part of who we are. You know, we are so much more than we realize. And on the face of it, it seems quite ridiculous, given our programming and conditioning, that this could even be so. But honestly, hand on heart, you know, and again, whether you see this as truth or deluded nonsense is entirely up to each individual, because we're all individuated expressions on our individuated journey. And it's right and proper that we actually apply our own discernment. And if you're curious, though, you know, don't allow your ego mind to railroad you into what you've been programmed and conditioned. Think about it, explore it for yourself, see what you come up with. And if it's still deluded nonsense, then that's fine. But yeah, that's what it's all about. And yeah, the grand game of consciousness. I think that also made me think in terms of, again, Dr. David, about the importance of staying playful. You know, this is something that is supposed to be joyful. Now, sometimes it's very difficult to be joyful when there is so much negative stuff going on around you in the external environment, but this is where you are master. You are master of your own environment. And that is why, you know, when Jolie pulls together her guided meditations, you know, they're a beautiful bridge, a bridge to that higher level of consciousness that we all have, which helps us to get to that highest expression of our individuated selves. So yeah, I suppose that's really what I wanted to say. Oh, one last thing. Source love was mentioned again. And I was, you know, the description of, you know, when we talk about love in a human sense, and that need to, you know, sometimes it's a control thing, or a dependency thing, rather than, you know, if true love is being able to set someone free, right? That's the truth of it, is that freedom is love. That's how it comes through. But when you think about near-death experiences, inevitably, what people say is when they cross over, that profound sense of love that they experience is nothing that you can actually experience on a human level. It is just not normal in our expression of physical consciousness, but it is really who we are. But you have to strip away the layers to get closer and closer and closer. And when we do, we will, then How fantastic is that? What a privilege it is to be here on the planet right now. So, Jolie, can I bring you in, please, for your thoughts?
And it's such a beautiful thing. You know, people find it, like you were talking about, sometimes it's difficult to stay high vibing when you have so much adversity. But one of the affirmations that works wonders is the universe has got my, it's got my best interest. The universe is conspiring to support me, or everything is working for my highest and most loving good. That when everything works out for my most highest and loving good. Anything that is saying you're not putting something on it like I want money or I am this, you're just saying the universe supports me. The universe loves me, and really bringing in unconditional love, especially when you have me. I've been really trying to flood my system with unconditional love when I remember. You know, most of the time I'm miserable, sick, and coughing, but when you have pain and when you have these issues, feel the feeling of unconditional love, whatever that looks like to you. And that's something that I don't think a lot of us try to do. Like, how do I sit in love? What does a loving film look like? You know, with my
Yeah.
gold, with my light shining through it. What does that look like? And sitting in those energies for periods of time, that is what really gets you in alignment, you know? And even the quantum, and even over, people talk about their experiences in death and how it's like a whole hour in a second. They saw it. I was just gone for a second and I saw all of that. Just goes to show you there's so many miracles and possibilities out there that we just need to tap into through our positive thoughts about ourselves, through moving love out into the world. Those things are so important
Yeah. Yeah,
to,
absolutely. 100. Yeah.
transforming us.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. And, there was a quote I wrote down actually when I heard it the other day, which is, all that source is, I am. And I thought, well, that is
Yeah,
so true because we are fractals of the divine, right?
yeah.
So all that source is, I am. Really, so I thought, oh, I like that.
There you go, because we're knowing more and more that we're living in a holographic universe, right? You know, you talked about that fractals and, really working with the higher self and the heart. It opens you up.
Yeah. Yes, it does. It's I do love this journey, and it is amazing. I mean, I've been doing this only for like 7 and a bit years now. I have learned so much, and I totally get the fact that anybody who is still in the mainstream level that I was before that will struggle with this because it's been an incremental 7 and a bit years to get me to this point. So I still have I would still urge anybody from the mainstream that kind of watches this, I would urge you to have just that spiritual curiosity where you start to dig under the surface for yourself. And, I know when I started out, it was like just started to dig under the surface of things like past lives, things like that. I found very interesting. I thought, wow. And it was understanding the nature of consciousness and the human experience. And yeah, it's a journey. I think I will never uncover the whole secret, right? And that's part of the joy of it, really, because there's always something more to know. So yeah, I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah. So what do you reckon, Jolie? Do you think it's that time now that we step on the pedal and go towards the pre-meditation and then the guided meditation?
absolutely. It's time to go.
Right. Cool. Okay. Let's give it a go. Thank you. Be back with you soon.
Importantly, this inward journey is not about asking a distant God to step in and fix the pictures on the screen of your life. You are not meditating to patch the hologram or beg for special favors within the game. Instead, you meditate to commune with the very foundation of reality, the luminous presence from which the hologram is projected. In the silence of true meditation, the layers of illusion begin to thin. Thoughts quiet, sensory impressions fade, and the usual storyline of the world recedes. You find yourself touching something vast and alive. the pure beingness that you call Source. In that deep stillness, you may sense that there is indeed only one power, one pure light animating everything. This realization might not come as words. It can be a subtle feeling of unity, a profound peace or love that seems to glow from within for no external reason. Even a brief glimpse of this one power running through all of existence can shift your perspective dramatically. You return from such meditation knowing not just intellectually, but experientially, that the material world is a play of shadows and light upon a deeper reality. And each time you enter this inner sanctuary, you strengthen your connection to Source, making it easier to carry that clarity and centeredness back into the simulation of everyday life.
Okay, so put your feet flat on the floor and your palms face up on your thighs. Bring your awareness to the center of your chest and begin to breathe with the rhythm of your body. And behind the darkness that's in your eyes, that focus on it and just feel this electricity of life running through your body. Feel it. All of the blood and the cells in your body, we're going to turn them heart-shaped, and those pathways, those veins, those arteries, those muscles, those ligaments are lined with gold. And just this beautiful sense of wellness, of belonging, of just being able, knowing that you are powerful enough to change the quantum wave structure starting with you. So before we even ground into Mother Earth, we're just going to send beauty and joy and life and wellness all throughout our bodies from this space of love in the heart. It is your birthright, worthy and deserving of love and wellness and healing pulsating through your body as you ground your energy by visualizing a grounding cord that is 6 inches in diameter, connected to your first chakra between your sit bones, of a natural earth element. As this energy moves through what you're sitting or laying on, through the floor, working its way down through Mother Earth, traveling at the speed of love, your grounding cord roots itself into the core of Mother Earth, receiving all her nurturing energy, her love. Be receptive. As you give this beautiful energy to her, she gives it right back to you. But first, we're going to clean off our grounding cord by visualizing beautiful, lovely, golden rose-shaped scrubbing bubbles, blanketing the inside and the outside of your grounding cord. My grounding cord is like of a gold webbing. So beautiful. Whatever yours is, clean it off as you bring your awareness back to your heart and you allow for Mother Earth and her assistants to do their thing. As you bring your awareness back to your breath and you pull your aura in to be 1.5 feet around you, you command your higher self to stand at the power position above your crown, and you snap in that astral body. And as you breathe in through your nose and gently out through your mouth, visualize the bottoms of your feet opening like the lens of a camera as you call in that 15% earth energy of a color that resonates with you, while simultaneously your crown opens and 85% cosmic gold comes raining down from the heavens, raining down on your higher self, coming down through your aura, focusing itself down your crown, and just lighting you up, electrifying all of the cells and the atoms in your body, because love recognizes love. It just let it fill you up. Let it bring more wellness. Let it bring more love, compassion, and forgiveness into all the cells of your body. And you can feel that energy as you sit in your heart, and it moves past you, and it moves down into your belly, and it mixes in with that earth energy. And then it begins to fill you up like water fills up a cup. And it just, warmth is just moving all throughout your body, empowering you, lighting you up, taking you back to 0 point, where everything is as it should be. Everything is interconnected. And as these pathways and these channels are just filling up with gold, with life force, with love, compassion, forgiveness, joy, moving up throughout all your body, your hand chakra opens and allows for this energy to start sprouting out and filling up your aura layer. As it starts to sprout out the side channel of your crown, releasing from your energy everything you're ready to let go of and release, to move you into that new energy of neutrality, joy, subtlety, and peace. So from this place of love, I want you to light up that portal between your heart and your mind, the center of your head, rather. And move your awareness through this beautiful golden portal and up into the center of your head. And here, I want you to send down that portal all the way down the grounding cord. I want you to light it up and see it gold all the way down, as that earth energy and that cosmic divine life force energy works with your body. I want you to remove and resolve by sending any negativity down, any worry, any doubt, any fear. Turn it bright red in your brain, in your mind, the prefrontal cortex, the limbic system, the cerebrum, the cerebellum, all those parts of the brain where there's worry, there's doubt, there's fear, there's dis-ease, illness. I want you to just send it all down your grounding cord, down that portal and down that grounding cord, as that earth energy and that 85% cosmic gold fill up those spaces and places in your brain where there was negative programming, limiting beliefs, past haunting you, DNA being repaired and reprogrammed for your wellness and your most loving good. This is your energy. Get rid of what no longer serves you and fill up with the possibilities that are limitless of unconditional love, wellness, abundance, and the laws of the universe, all coursing throughout your mind, your body, and your spirit. As the energy moves through you, and your heart and your mind are one. So as you fill up with this beautiful divine energy, and there is now a unity of consciousness within you, visualize your most loving good. See peace. See mankind coming together, holding hands across the universe, bathing illness and disease in that beautiful blue light, blue golden light of healing, of restoration. See mankind and humanity moving into a place of unspeakable beauty. What does that look like? What does that feel like? What does it sound like? Feel that energy of bliss, of joy, of a high vibration, of your purpose unfolding before you. Breathe with the rhythm of your body. It is safe for you to have these things, be these things, and do these things. Let your nervous system know it is safe for me to be free. It is safe for me to be vulnerable. So as you breathe with the rhythm of your body and you see that vision of yourself and your environment and mankind and Mother Earth all healed and well, and there's magnificence and joy, bring that energy, that vision down into your heart. Move through that beautiful golden portal from the center of your head down into the center of your heart. And bring that energy and that bliss and that joy and that healing with you. And let that propagate. Let your heart beat with that rhythm all throughout your body and your systems, bringing in that love, that joy, and that togetherness. Bringing that within your body and changing that quantum wave structure to be one of neutrality, joy, and peace. So now, from a place of love, I want you to take a deep breath in, hold it, and gently exhale. Take another deep breath in, and gently exhale, and relax into your new energy. So now breathe in through your nose from the count of 5. Hold it for a count of 5. And exhale. for a count of 5. And visualize your feet chakras closing like the lens of a camera, and that beautiful earth energy receding back into Mother Earth. Take another deep breath in. Hold it and exhale. This time, I want you to see a golden sun above your head. And this golden sun is your master manifestation energy. All of the things you saw in your mind and in your heart that have been programmed into your cells are going to be solidified, sent out into the world, and pave the way. So in this golden sun, with that master manifester juice, straight from divine energy, this golden sun sits in that beautiful 85% cosmic gold that's raining down from the heavens. And all you have to do is just see the words Master Manifester on this golden sun. And that essence from the divine restructures itself, fills up that golden sun, and then it flows with that golden river of cosmic life force down through your higher self, breaking apart as it comes through that aura layer, focusing itself. Some of that energy going down the aura layers, the rest of it coming down through your crown, filling up every part of you, binding with those beautiful, loving cells, atoms, and just filling you up, meeting with the ones in the aura layer. As you see this essence just light you up all the way down your grounding cord, chasing away those golden rose-shaped scrubbing bubbles as this essence binds, this beautiful divine essence binds to your grounding cord as those golden rose-shaped scrubbing bubbles disintegrate into the core of Mother Earth, turning into life force energy for anyone to use. And take another deep breath in, and you close your hand chakras and your crown chakras, and you watch that divine life force energy ascend back up into the heavens. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes.
Yeah, we're back.
You're back.
Very nice. I love that. It's again adding those positive frequencies into the quantum wave structure.
Yeah.
It's recovering again our limitless possibilities that we know are our pure divine white light, right? And
Yes.
it's just a thing of beauty. It's just removing those filters. That's what we're doing.
And
Uh,
making us a magnet to all of the good things in the universe, you know?
that's it. That is
Yeah.
what it's all about. And this is the power of understanding what this simulation holographic projection thing is all about and why we chose it for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We chose our filters and we chose our life path. And it's a cyclical kind of thing. So when we go through the hard times, don't worry about it because it will turn. Just you can stay in those darker times, and this is it, right? So we're here, cyclical life cycle. Everything changes in time. We'll go through good times, we'll go through bad times. but this too shall pass, right? Is kind of the phrase. So when it's really good and really great and that, yeah, love it, enjoy it, embrace it, knowing that there will become a time when it will get more darker and more challenging, but knowing again that you will learn, you will grow through that, and you will come out the other side stronger and wiser, and your soul
Yeah.
growth. It's magnificent.
Yes. So it's like a rebirth.
Absolutely. And it's, this is the interesting thing about this point in time is a planetary rebirth. And we are effectively as physical beings, we are part of the planet. We know that, right? Our frequency matches with Gaia Mother Earth. And
Mhm.
her frequencies are changing. We can see it through this human resonance. We can see it through the activity that's going on, all the energies that are coming flooding into the earth. You know,
Yes.
anybody who watches Stephen Burns and the likes will see on a regular basis all the the plasmic flows and there's so much going on right now. But sometimes it comes across as challenges. Um, so
Opportunities to grow.
exactly. That's it. That's what I've got written up here. See setbacks as opportunities for personal growth that they truly represent.
Yes. Yeah.
One of my affirmations, and I truly believe that. So, it does, and you learn that over time because sometimes when you go through those dark places, it's very, very challenging. And you have to honor that. So, right. Okay. All right. So, what do you think? Are we going into wrap up time now?
Yes, we are. And we appreciate it if you would like, share, and subscribe to the channel so we can grow because we love being of service and giving you information and ways to improve and transform.
Exactly. And we're doing it as a community. This is
Yes.
what it's all about. It's not about fighting the old, it's about building the new, right? That's what we're about. That's what we're about with the Elevated Planet community. Anybody who wants to join our community, subscribe to the channel. Also, if you want to get to our newsletter, then John Drew at elevatedplanet.life will get you onto our distribution list, or you can contact us through our elevatedplanet.life website, and that would just be elevatedplanet.life/contact. That gets you to the contact page, which is free format. So any questions, thoughts, or anything else you want to share, pop it through on there, and we will make sure that we respond to you. Other than that, I would also again reiterate the fact that this is our last truly live show for several weeks, as I will not be around, but Jolie and I have put together a series, or putting together a series that follow on from today's show, right?
Right.
Yeah. So
Yes.
it's
And
sorry, carry on, Jolie.
no, I was going to say, and everybody, please wish Sean congratulations as Mauritius. He is getting married. Hooray, right? That's beautiful. Love
Yeah.
all around.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Jolie. Thank you, everyone. I truly appreciate it. And, it's just a beautiful thing. I love life, right? And, I really do. I love this opportunity to be here now. I love this opportunity for us to come together as community. And for you, Jolie, as well, I'm very grateful for having you in my
Yes,
life
same
to
here.
kind of enable us to do what we are doing right now.
Yes, I'm grateful too.
Excellent. Okay. Well, thank you, everybody. And thank
Yes,
you to everybody who's been with us today and anybody who will watch the recording. We love you.
yes.
You're
Yeah,
part
and
of
we'll
who
see
we
if
are.
we'll see you soon.
Yeah. Take care. See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.